Craving some crunchy shell, the man behind the counter said, "Whoopa, whoopa!" Hey guys, what's up? It's Jace Daniel Says So on my bracelet that I got from this guy on Etsy. His username is greyskyboy. I'll put in the link below. But I got this bracelet so that I could help my friends and family members try to remember my name and my pronouns, he, him, his. I also use they, them, but I don't use it as often. I'm really pushing for people to see me like, hey, I'm a trans male kind of thing. But anyways, so I have some updates for you guys and possibly some help about after you start going to a gender therapist. And so once you go to a gender therapist and you get all that help, you go to an endocrinologist. So I went to my endo sometime earlier in the week, the 24th.
Like, really hyper and stuff. Yeah, I have no idea why I'm so hyper.
My idea with after going to gender therapy and getting approved to go on T, I thought when you go to an endocrinologist, you get the blood work done that day. But no, they have to order it. They have to order it that day. And so my endocrinologist, he was actually like, it was the first time meeting me because like I don't have an endocrinologist. It's really hard for me to say that word, so I'm just gonna say endo. I got my blood work today, Friday, and there are 4 tests that they checked for. So what my endo asked me, he asked me some questions regarding my health, like, you know, like certain questions that would affect me being able to take tea kind of things. He asked me a bunch of things. The lab orders that for me had to take, or the things that like I have, it's like testosterone. So like there are 6 things on here. It's testosterone diagnostic, parentheses, total or free per protocol, then estradiol, ultrasensitive, lipid panel for cholesterol, DHDL, trig, as in triglycerides, calcium, I think it is, LDL, fasting. You have to fast 8 to 12 hours for that. So like do it the night before and then like do it, you know, like the next morning or something. And then glucose, you have to fast 8 hours for that. And then hemoglobin and hematocrit and alt serum. So for me, this is what I had to get. He also asked me some questions that my gender therapist asked me, which is like, you know, like, why do you want to go on T, you know, like, and then like he talked to me. I have a form, I just don't have it on me for this video. Gave me a form listing how to take testosterone, like, you know, the gel, the patch, pills, which aren't actually available in the US. Pills are really bad for you because they mess up your liver. I have a fear of needles. Like, I got my blood drawn today and they always have trouble finding my vein, and my friend, she's a registered nurse, and she's like, oh, the nurses, they can't choose when to stab you, they can just choose what needle size they want to use. But since I had a really small vein, the nurse was like, oh, I'm gonna use a tiny needle. You have to wait for the lab orders to come in. I usually wait like a day or two. Really low on a lot of stuff. Like I have some health problems, like I'm anemic. I have thalassemia, which is like the most severe case of anemia, I guess. And I have low vitamin D. I mean, I know I'm a trans guy. I don't have a D. Not a real one. I have a 4-inch one. So one of my friends, he was like asking me about bottom surgery, and he was asking me if I would ever get bottom surgery and like basically how that works, and I explained to him. He was like asking me how that works, and he said something that was like kind of ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of laughed at him, and then he was like, I don't know, and it's like, well, I realized that cis people really wouldn't know unless they do the research and stuff, or unless they have like a ton of trans friends who like talk about this and stuff. But he thought that like an organ donor, like they take a dick from a dead cis guy and transplant it onto a trans guy. That's not how it works. Although I have heard that they have done some transplants on that and they're trying to make it like fully functionable, whereas if you get a philosophy bottom surgery, but I don't want bottom surgery. But my friend was like, oh, if you like get bottom surgery, make sure you get a big one because, you know, Asians stereotypically you have small dicks. But I always joke that he has a small dick because I'm an asshole. And if you don't want to see a silicone dick, look away right now, NSFW. Yeah, so my silicone dick, it's about 4 inches. My friend, I put this on Snapchat, like sent it to some friends, and I was like, get a grip of your balls, man. And my friends were like, that is a whole lot of dick I was not expecting to see. His sister, actually, she was like, oh, that's really cool that you have a dick. Basically, she didn't know that packers existed at all for trans guys or in general. This is a Sailor Packer 1, I think, or maybe it's 2. I remember, but it's about 4 inches. It's a soft packer. He's like, I don't know how it works. If you have any questions about trans guys in general, or for me as a trans guy, then go ahead, shoot them below. I'm out to all my professors. I have one I have for 2 classes, because it's a class and then a lab. And then I told all my professors. I told one of them through email. The class I had with her was the meeting for our online class. So I told her, and she like called my birth name, and then she's like, oh, I don't know if she's here. And I did have her years ago for another early childhood class, because all the classes I'm taking are pertaining to my major, which are early childhood classes, because I want to be an early childhood major. I went up to her after class. I was like, hey, you know, I'm Jace. I sent you that email, but this is like my birth name. And she's like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. And then so she called me that in like the other class. I don't think any of the classmates know that I identify as male, but like I probably wouldn't wear this bracelet in class just because I don't feel comfortable enough to correct people. And like, I mean, it is an early childhood major, so I feel like they shouldn't be super negative about it. I probably can't start T until March, which is heartbreaking because I had my endocrinologist appointment and I thought that I was going to get the lab work done that day, but I didn't. I did it 2 or 3 days afterward. I thought that, you know, right after that I could go on T, basically, like I requested or something, or once they see my blood work that day, like they're gonna, you know, do that. But in a few days or so I should get my blood work results and see if I can go on T, like if anything in my body will affect that. Shots, I hate needles, but I would like to do shots. I mean, I could go to Kaiser, which is my health insurance, every time, because going to the injection clinic, it is actually free, but I don't really want to wait. I am trying to push to get my transition process done earlier, if that makes sense. December, I went to the free trans clinic event and I got all those papers, and then beginning the 1st or 2nd week of January, I went to my gender therapist appointment, and then a couple days ago I got my endocrinology appointment, and then today I had my lab work done. But then near the end of next month I have an appointment with the trans clinic, also with my health insurance, but it's not in the same town that I live in, so I have to travel out for that. The reason I'm going to that is because both my gender therapist and my endo talked to me about fertility, and I honestly do not know if I want to carry kids. And I know that sounds like almost ridiculous, like guy carrying, you know, babies or whatever, but like Thomas Beatty, the pregnant man, because basically my gateway into like finding out about transgender people. All my professors were really supportive. The last professor that I told her my name was Jace in class, because I had former classmates from last semester and this semester, and just like, you know what, I don't want to confuse people. I'm just gonna tell them my name is Jace in class, because if I tell them after class, you know, someone might call me my birth name, and it's like, I don't really want that. So I told my professor after class, if you could call me Jace in class, that'd be great. She's like, oh yeah, I already wrote your name down. I was like, yeah, well, also use like male pronouns, like he, him, his, because I'm trans and I'm going to be starting T soon. And I thought I was going to be starting in February, but I can't, because my appointment to talk about fertility and testosterone at the same time is February 21st, and until I get that done, I can't get back to my endocrinologist unless I cancel that appointment. And I won't cancel that appointment because I honestly don't know what I want, and I should just do the research myself. But it is good to know my options, and I'm not gonna freeze my eggs because I don't have money for that. My professor, she was like, well, okay, and then she's like, I probably won't remember to use the male pronouns, but I probably won't actually ever call you male pronouns. I'll probably just use your name. It's like, oh, that's good to be who you are and stuff. And it's just like, wow, like she seems like a salty, hard-ass teacher, but she's actually low-key nice. I got a check in the mail from the organization that was with the free trans clinic event, and that check is for me being able to waive court order fees, because honestly I don't have any fucking money. Like my endo, he was asking me about like mental health and stuff, and he was like, oh, have you ever had any suicide attempts, have you ever been hospitalized for it? I was like, yes, summer 2015, and he's like, it gets better. And I'm just like, oh, that's really sweet. But also because I spent a whole fucking year working and paying that off, and then I have other money that I spent on college semesters and books and Christmas presents and getting me from place to place, doctor appointments all the time. So I'm really trying to push hard to be able to transition quicker and easier, and honestly going on T will be like a really big step for me, not just because it'll change how I look and how I speak and stuff, but also because it'll get my dad to start respecting me and using my name and my pronouns, because he said that he wouldn't because of his religion, which I'm pretty sure the Bible doesn't say anything about transgender folks. A lot of my friends are religious, most of them are Christian, and they accept me. Like, honestly, all of them that I've talked to and stuff, and I haven't lost any friends on Facebook, so I'm assuming either people think I'm really interesting because, oh look, I'm the trans person that they graduated high school with, or they were my friend at some point and they still want to keep in contact with me and whatnot. If someone was against it, they would have unfriended me, probably. My dad said that he wouldn't really accept me and start like using my name and my pronouns until I transitioned, and I don't have any money for top surgery because I went top surgery, and now I have money to going to court to change my name and gender legally. I just need to get a physician's signature, so I might get my endocrinologist's signature when I request to go NT. When I send him an email, my endo said that he really liked my name, and I was like, shit, man, yeah. Before I started, he was like, oh, how do you say your name? And I was like, oh, it's Jace. And the endocrinology department is the only department at my Kaiser clinic that calls me Jace. Okay guys, some hardcore shit just went down. If you have any questions, hit me up on my Tumblr, my Twitter, my Snapchat, my Instagram, this YouTube channel. It's Hey It's Jace, like how it is here. That goes the same username for all my other social media accounts. I'm Jace Daniel. Thanks for watching, guys.
Jiggle, jiggle, pop, pop my hips, let her rock, okay, swing left, swing